So for most of America's history, the vice presidency has been seen as an insignificant job. Vice presidents didn't make big decisions and they mostly just stood by the president's side. But in the modern era, that changed. Some vice presidents started using the office and having actual influence. I think the two greatest examples in this shift is Walter Mondale and Dick Cheney, two powerful vice presidents that use influence in completely different ways. And in this video, I'll explain why I believe Mondale was an amazing vice president and why Cheney sucked as vice president. So first off, both Mondale and Cheney used powers in different ways. Mondale used his power to support the president. The president at the time was Jimmy Carter, and Carter saw Mondale as his partner and same the other way around. Because of their mutual trust, Carter helped expand Mondale's power without controversy. Mondale would be the first president without office in the West Wing. Mondale would constantly advise Carter, even during stressful crises. He helped act as a bridge to Congress as a former senator and would be an excellent diplomat as he represented America in more high-level foreign policy meetings. Cheney, on the other hand, didn't see himself as a partner to the president. He saw himself as superior to the president, who at the time was George W. Bush. After 9/11, Cheney would begin taking roles from the president rather than assisting the president. He took charge of foreign policy, security, and would expand war powers and helped plan the invasion of Iraq, a war that he personally profited from. Cheney was not transparent and he was not a partner to Bush, but rather a shadow president. How they use power also matters. Cheney was absolutely obsessed with powers and he would make sure his allies were placed in government positions. Mondale never attempted to be a shadow president, but rather an open, responsible, and transparent vice president. We also have to look at our Constitution. A good vice president must have constitutional limits. Mondale respected the Constitution and never attempted to expand power beyond his role as vice president. Cheney, on the other hand, used the unitary executive theory, a theory where the president has absolute authority over the executive branch. This was used to justify expanding presidential power and encourage surveillance on American citizens. As mentioned earlier, Cheney was a major mastermind behind the war in Iraq. His expansion of war powers during the war is shameful. This war hawk that was so obsessed with Iraq wasn't as keen of war during Vietnam, where he received several draft deferments. Another thing we should look at is a good vice president should be respected, not feared. Mondale was widely respected in the White House and was praised for his honesty, but the same can't be said for Dick. He used fear, and he was feared. While in office, he shot a guy in the face, and the guy he shot was the one to apologize. Not to mention the fact he didn't even apologize to the guy he shot. He used his secrecy and his tight control to push his personal agenda. Now, the final thing we should look at about these two figures is their legacy. Mondale will forever be remembered as the guy that got destroyed by Reagan. But other than that, he will be remembered as a strong vice president that set a model and showed the vice president can wield power. Cheney, on the other hand, will forever be remembered as the most controversial vice president in American history that was an unchecked individual behind the scenes and will forever be tied to war, surveillance, and overreach. The vice president isn't just about being next in line of succession. It's about showing influence even when you're not in the spotlight. Mondale showed how the office can make the presidency stronger, while Cheney showed how the office can be twisted for personal gain and pose a danger to America through secrecy and domination. If you plan on being a future vice president, look up to Mondale's vice presidency, not Cheney's.